All right, so it's time for an update video on Overhoof. It's time for a progress video. It's time for some work to be done. What's been happening? Why has it been taking so long? Well, I've got a lot to cover, a lot to show you. I've acquired a lot more parts for Overhoof, and we're gonna get some work done in this video. In a previous video, I worked on the suspension, taking off the old struts and the old K-member and mounting up the tubular K-member, the coilovers, but I needed some more parts to finish it. In today's video, we're gonna add the parts that I didn't have before. Let's get into it. Well, here's some of it is. These were some of the more important things that I needed to get to the next step of this car build. Because if you've seen the car, it's missing a lot of things. It's basically missing everything. And this is stuff that I need to get it to the point to where I can get to the following step. So this is a header panel that goes in the front of the car. Got this from LMR. Shout out to them. I got this in like a day. That was fast. And my car is missing the front crash bar. So I was gonna have to find one. I got one, but it's off a 99 to 04, and they are a little bit different. And because of the different shapes of the bumpers and whatnot, they bolt a little differently. So I was gonna have to find another one, as well as the foam insert that goes in between the crash bar and the bumper. Is a BMR tubular front bumper support, and it bolts in the OEM locations, and it's tubular. And another obstacle I had was a steering. This is a Unisteer manual rack and pinion. Now, if you've done an LS swap, you probably know some of the issues that you would face with running a Ford power steering rack and a GM LS power steering pump. Now, the LS power steering pumps operate at a much higher PSI than a Ford rack and pinion. And if you're not careful, you can blow the seals out of them, because the Fords only need about, 60 to 80 PSI, but the LS pumps are a lot higher than that. Without having to get special lines and a special fitting to reduce the pressure, I feel like I saved money on buying the rack, because now I don't have to buy a power steering pump. I don't have to get special lines. I don't have to get a special adapter to reduce the pressure from the pump to the rack and pinion. So I have that. And secondly, I needed some lower control arms. I have these, but I didn't really want to use those. Those are big and bulky and heavy. But we've got an answer to that. My answer is these. I got some tubular, fully adjustable lower control arms, that way I can set my caster and camber where I want it. So today we're going to be installing this stuff, doing the rack and pinion. I'm going to have to go to town. I was going to modify these bolts, but I think I'm going to run to town and just see if I can get me some bolts to fit. Because these bolts are the ones that came in the original K-member, and they go all the way through. They go from here all the way to back, so they're a bit long. But they do fit the threads in this one, but they don't have to be that long. Like I said, I could modify these and just start from here and put a nut on it, but I'm gonna go find some bolts that are about this long to put in there to bolt up my manual rack. I don't think the manual rack came with outer tie rod ends, so I'll be getting some new outer tie rod ends because these are just old. And of course, sway bar links, we'll do that later. We finally have a handful of things that we can get done on Overhoof to where I can stop looking like this. And I did locate 2 sets of doors. One's local and one's about an hour and a half away, but whoever gets back to me first, they said they're available. I can pick them up maybe this weekend, and they're both red, so win-win there. Both sets of doors are red to match this, which is fine. And another issue was the gas tank. The OEM gas tank, I wasn't going to be able to use it, but oh look, I've got one right there. It came without the gas. Gas was sold separately, but it's a gas tank to put gas in. And then I have all this stuff coming. I ordered a new this is a overflow vent, so if it tips over, it shuts off, but it's a vent. I've got that coming because that broke. Fuel pump assembly, fuel sender. This is the original one, but I could probably I'm not going to use that one. I've got a new one coming, and I've got a aftermarket Evil Energy 255 intake pump I'm going to put in Overhoof. And in here, we've got just a few more odds and ends. I got some brand new headlights, front headlights and turn signal lenses for this. That's what over there. And over here, I have my Gen 3 drive-by cable manual LS harness, OEM LS harness that I'm going to be slapping in it. And I've got just a few more odds and ends, but for now, we've got bigger fish to fry and we've got bigger projects to worry about. So, all right, so the new tubular control arms don't come with hardware, but I'm going to reuse the OEM bolts out of the original ones. Now, using adjustable lower control arms gives you much more flexibility and adjustability with lowered cars, depending on where you want your caster and camber to be, and whether or not you've got enough or not enough angle. Now, I'm going to install these bolts a certain direction because I know that in order to adjust these, you have to remove the bolt and then unwind the eyelet. So I'm doing this in a way that whoever aligns it can remove the bolts easy and stick them back in easy. And I finally get it after fighting with it for a few minutes, and now we're going to have a look at it. We finally got it. It took a little bit of work. Get this out of the way. We just got this mocked up. I'm going to fix that here in a minute. But it helped to mount this, and I was able to get that last one in. All right, everybody, I got Aurora on camera duty, so she's recording for me. That one a lot easier than the other side. And then we'll get our spindle and bolt in here to get our bolts in here. And next we'll worry about bolting our rack and pinion up in here. Of course, with that rack, I wonder if I shouldn't put it the other way. I might have to swap this bolt depending on how far it sticks out on that rack. We'll see. All right, so then we're going to take this up here, because then we're going to get our spindle and put up here. Got it all mocked up. All right, Rose, you want to come over here and record and show everybody what it looks like? Look good? Make a videographer out of you yet.
This is what it looks like now.
Does that look good, Rose?
It looks good.
All right, thank you. All right, let's take a break. All right, so a big thank you to Aurora video recording. So next, we're going to remove the original power steering rack, and I'm thinking about switching these bolts around. Maybe we'll see. I don't know yet. I might leave them like that, because if they have to adjust this, they're going to have to pull that bolt and unwind that eyelet and then tighten the jam that up. So I think it'll be easier to align if they have to take that bolt out, if they had to take it out through there. All right, I know a lot of guys look for videos like this because they want a comparison. They want to know the difference. They want to know how easy or what the possibilities are of swapping a manual rack in your Mustang. Now, mine is a 97. It's the same as 94 to 04, but there are some differences you want to take into consideration of doing this. The OEM is this style. Looks like, kind of like a little triangle. And it has a bolt that goes in here that rests right here on this recess. Now, the aftermarket manual one is a 26 spline shaft. So if you want to mate this to your existing steering shaft, some modifications are going to have to be made. Possibly a little bit of welding if you don't want to spend a couple $100 on an aftermarket steering shaft, which you could do. I'm going to try and save a little bit of money. I've got a welder. Now, I ordered a 26 spline to 9/16 U-joint that I'm going to end up cutting there. I've got a welder that will slip onto my manual rack, and then I will just weld it in place. And now we look at our manual rack. We've got it just sitting in there now. Like I said, I got to get some bolts. You can see the difference in the manual steering shaft and the regular one. But yeah, I got to get tie rod ends. I've got all this tightened down. Next, we're going to do a little bit of work up here, and then we're going to run the town and grab bolts and tie rod ends. But first, let's open our BMR tubular front bumper brace. All right. This is supposed to be the same color as the car. We'll see. And I don't know if this came with any hardware or not. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. Wow. Oh, sorry. Wow, look at that. Whew. Isn't that spiffy? So next we bring this over here. And it's just going to mount here just like this. Find bolts, and it bolts in just like that. And to top it off out front, I picked this up today. This is the 95 Cobra R fiberglass front bumper, which has the fog light holes and holes for brake ducts. Now, if you want to run brake cooling ducts, you can get adapters to go in here, but you basically change these out, and it has a mount back here where you just hook your hose to So when you're driving, it comes in here and it comes in through here a hole, and it cools your brakes down, keeps them cool. I may hook this feature up. That's a really cool feature. Yeah, we picked this up today. We got a good deal on it. It needs a little bit of work. It's got a couple little cracks in it here and there, but I'm good with fiberglass. We can fix that. Whenever I picked the car up, the front header panel was in pieces. And I can't remember exactly why it was like that, but it could have been many reasons. Some of it was probably already like that, but because I just took it off and put it inside the car. But the car sat for 10 years in the field, and then parts got thrown in there on top of it, so more than likely it was just neglect. But we have a new one here. And they are different from 94 to 98, and then the 99 to 04s are different. And there we have the new header panel. That looks really good. They got bent somehow. We can change them out, but I just want to see if I can get this mocked up. Oh, baby. 96%. Okay. Stay back.
Okay.
Holy smokes. Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh my gosh.